It's locked.
Oh, what's this? It appears to be some kind of peephole. But what, pray, does it peep upon? Shall I peep? La la, I do believe I'll peep. The beauty, the colors. So this is what Helga told me to look for. Where's my medallion? It fits! Note to self, high five Team Hotchkiss! And what's this? A message? Eureka! It says the diamond... Hello, my fellow night owl. Or perhaps I should say hoot hoot. Ooh. Did you find anything of interest in my room?
I did pop in there, though interesting doesn't begin to describe the place. Would you mind if I went back another time?
Of course not. Pop in all you like, just not when I'm working.
See you soon.
Righto!
This one goes nowhere.
Nancy, what are you doing here?
Don't you think I should be asking you that question?
I can explain, Nancy, but please, don't tell anyone that you found me here. If I get sent back to France, my fiancé will give up on me, and I will have let down my family again.
What's your fiancé expecting you to accomplish by breaking into the Queen's Tower?
I am doing this for my country and for my family's name. Isabelle has nothing to do with it, except that I feel I must succeed before I will feel worthy to marry her. The tower holds a valuable French historical document. If I can find it and return it to France, perhaps I can make up for my failure at the Olympics.
What kind of document?
The tower first belonged to the Chateau Rochemont in France. When Ezra Wickford bought the tower, my great-grandfather was the master carpenter in charge of dismantling it and preparing it for shipment. One day, when he was working alone, he found a secret compartment in one of the walls.
A secret compartment?
Inside, he found an old journal with a royal crest on the cover and a medallion with a strange blue stone in it. But he heard other carpenters coming, so he hid the medallion in his pocket and sealed the journal back in the compartment. Before he could get back to study the journal and return the medallion, the tower was dismantled and shipped to America. He never learned who the journal belonged to or what it said.
Why didn't your great-grandfather tell anyone about his discovery?
He thought if he told his story, Ezra Wickford might get angry, accuse him of interfering with the project, and try to ruin his name as a carpenter. So he kept quiet.
But he told you this story?
I was his only great-grandson. On his deathbed, he gave me the medallion and told me the whole story. He begged me to come here to Wisconsin to find the journal and return it to France.
You must feel a real sense of responsibility to carry out your great-grandfather's dying wish.
Oh yes, of course. But it's not just for my great-grandfather. It is for France. The journal bore a royal seal. It must have belonged to Marie Antoinette, because she used to visit the tower during the Revolution. So perhaps it contains her confessions. Or perhaps it contains proof of her innocence. Either way, the contents of that journal could change French history forever.
But how do you think the medallion fits in? What's its significance?
I have no idea. I believe whoever hid that journal must have left the medallion with it as a part of their message. But what? Nancy, do you think you could help me? Let me show you this medallion, and maybe you'll be able to tell me what it's for.
I might be willing to help you, but you have to tell Christy everything. I'm sure she'll understand, and then you won't have to sneak around in the middle of the night, haunting the castle with that screeching hacksaw.
Okay, Nancy, I see your point. I will explain everything to Christy Lane as soon as possible. Now will you help me? I think this medallion will interest you, and maybe you'll have some idea what it's for. It's in my locker. Will you go get it while I take care of something? The combination is 2665. I'll meet you in the locker room in a minute.
Okay, Jacques. I am intrigued. I'll see you downstairs.
You're the best, Nancy.
Don't mention it. Ouch. Oh, someone must have knocked me out. Headache headquarters. Nancy here.
Nancy, it's Jacques. What happened? Are you okay?
I don't really know what happened. I opened your locker like you said, and then it was lights out Nancy.
But you do have my medallion, right?
It was the last thing I saw, but I sure don't have it now.
Oh la la, you can't be serious.
I'm sorry, Jacques. I know how important that medallion was to you.
This is too much. Oh la la. Unbelievable.
Welcome to the voicemail system. Please press first message.
Yeah, Miss Droop. This is Dexter at the front desk. Can you come down when you're feeling better? I need to talk to you for a minute. Thanks.
To go to the next message, press 2. Second message.
Nancy, this is your mentor speaking. Things are looking uncommonly out of sorts in here. I just hope I haven't had another intruder. Please remember that passkey I gave you is not for sharing.
To leave the system, please press 3. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks for coming down. I've been wanting to talk to you. How's your head? Did you slip or what?
I'm feeling much better, thanks. But what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
It's just that when I found you out cold in the basement and hauled you back to your room, I noticed all this red dirt on your shoes. I'm just curious where it came from.
Mr. Egan, I confess, I found my way into the corridor that leads to the Queen's Tower. As you probably know, the dirt in that tunnel is very red. I hope you won't consider this trespassing.
Nope. If you must know, I'm impressed. Ezra Wickford set that secret door up so nobody would be able to find it. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with getting into that tower. Ezra told me that if I could get through the secret door, he'd take me up to see the Queen's Tower. Finally, I got into the tunnel, and when I came out with that red dirt all over me, he laughed. He was actually proud of me.
That's an amazing story, Mr. Egan. I'm glad you're not angry. I guess I'm just as curious as you once were.
I'd say you earned the right to check out the tower for yourself, but you gotta get through that gate, right? There's an old skeleton key in the maintenance shed. Now that the storm's passed, you can go out and get it, but be careful. It's still dead cold out there.
I don't want to press my luck with you, but I sure would like to see Ezra's private garden. Could you tell me how to find it?
It's nothing but wasteland out there. If you're bent on tromping around in the cold, go left when you get outside, away from the shed. Look for a wrought iron gate. You'll figure out the rest.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
Alrighty then.
It's freezing out here. gosh, I can hardly feel my toes.
Glad you came down to talk. Get this. I saw Dexter walking out to the maintenance shack with this, like, green ornament thing in his hand. He's up to something, right? Maybe you should check it out.
Thanks for the tip, Lisa. I think I will. Want to come along?
Thanks, Nancy, but you're the brainiac. I'll just guard this comfy chair and wait for your report.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Keep me posted.
Hey there, Nancy.
You've been holding out on me, Mr. Egan. I read in an old issue of the Daily Telegraph that you grew up here, right in this castle.
All right. I did live here for a few years, once upon a time. I was an orphan until Ezra Wickford came along and adopted me. But I left the castle when I was 16, and I never saw him again. That's the story, all right?
Why didn't you ever come back to visit?
Some things can't be explained, kid. It was a long time ago, and nothing can change it now.
Okay. See ya, Mr. Egan.
You're a trooper.
I've lucked out. If I don't get inside soon, I'll freeze to death.
What the? What's going on out here? Is that you, Nancy? Come inside. It's freezing out here. What kind of a stunt was that, Missy?
I was freezing. That stunt was my version of an SOS.
Well then, what can I say except good thinking?
Nancy, I heard you got locked out. You could have frozen to death. So, what was Dexter hiding out there?
I don't know. It just looked like your average maintenance shed to me. So, next time you give me a hot tip, Lisa, it better come with some earmuffs.
Huh, I thought for sure I was onto something. I still think Dexter's shady. I'd keep an eye on him if I were you.
I'll let you get back to your magazine.
Later, Nancy.
Nancy, I still cannot believe you lost my medallion. How could you have been so careless?
I wasn't exactly careless, you know, and I didn't lose your medallion either. But I don't have it. Where were you, anyway? Weren't you supposed to meet me?
When I showed up, you were having a catnap on the floor. Ugh, I will be ruined by you American women.
Guess you'd better stay away from me then. Goodbye.
Au revoir, little Miss Nightmare.
It's locked. Looks like some kind of prison. Looks like a keyhole of some sorts.
Yes, dear?
I found something that I think you'll be very interested in. It seems to be some kind of journal. I think it was written by Marie Antoinette herself.
What? Let me see that. This is it. I've been trying to track this down for 15 years. Where on earth did you find it?
Well, it's a long story, but I happened to find a way into the Queen's Tower, where I happened to find a secret compartment. I think this must be what the vandal was after.
Nancy, I must warn you. I'll wrestle you for this if I have to, and it won't be pretty.
I'm sure physical combat won't be necessary, Professor. I'm glad to help you with your work, but I need your assistance in return. You're fluent in French, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'll get to work on it right away. I'll have the translation ready in my room for you this time tomorrow. Until then, I mustn't be disturbed.
Hello?
George, it's Nancy.
Great timing, Nancy. Bess and I were just saying how we wish we were out on the ski slopes with you. Hang on, I'll get her to pick up the other phone. Hey, Bess, our favorite detective's on the phone.
Hey, Nancy, how's the vacation?
I guess you haven't gotten my letter. Not only do I have a blizzard on my hands, but I may have stumbled onto another case, too. The castle library was vandalized, and one of the other guests says her room was robbed.
Boy, oh boy! Have you searched the library for clues yet?
Well, that's the thing. Dexter Egan, the caretaker, says it's locked up and off limits until the police can get here. But who knows when that'll be.
That's funny, Nancy. I didn't know the phrase off limits was even in your vocabulary.
Seriously, though, don't you think that your dad's friend, Christy Lane, would feel better knowing that you're on the case, at least until the police can take over?
She's right, Nancy. I mean, who knows what this Egan guy is all about anyway? Sounds like you're just gonna have to find an alternative entrance to that library.
Here I go again. Just hope I don't have to slide down the chimney.
And what about this robbery? Who got robbed?
I'm not sure. The guest's name is Professor Hotchkiss. I think she's a bit eccentric.
You mean weird?
Nutso?
A few sandwiches short of a picnic?
Okay, you guys. I just mean that I'm not sure how reliable her testimony will be.
Yeah, but she'll probably tell you something important, whether she means to or not.
I met my ski instructor, Jacques Brunet. He sure is French.
Ooh la la, those accents should be illegal.
I hate to break it to you, Bess, but he's engaged.
Now there's a real crime.
Right, Bess. Humanity is devastated.
Wickford wrote Dexter a farewell poem before he died.
The inventor of chocolate milk was a poet, too?
Yum, I could write a poem or two about chocolate milk.
It says that he hid some sort of luck charm for Dexter to find.
Where?
Something about his old thinking spot somewhere out in the garden. Funny, but I didn't see any garden when I came in.
Well, you can't exactly tiptoe through the tulips when they're buried under 6 feet of snow.
Never mind my cheeky cousin over there, Nancy. When the storm passes, you should go out and see what you can find.
I found Ezra Wickford's secret garden. You'll never guess what Dexter's boyhood luck charm was.
A rabbit's foot?
A little green leprechaun?
Guess again. A medallion with a red stone in it. Do you think I should give it back to Dexter?
Oh yeah, like honesty is the best policy with creepy convicts?
I think George is politely trying to say that you should find out what the medallion's for before you breathe a word of it to anyone. You'll probably need it to solve this mystery.
I went back to check out Jacques' locker, and I found a pamphlet about diamonds, a letter from his fiancée, and a warning notice from immigration.
Did his fiancée sound cute in her letter?
Actually, she sounded upset. She wants him to hurry up and do something, but I'm not sure what.
Sounds like that guy is under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I hope he's not marrying her just to stay in the country. Okay, you two. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Hello?
Ned, it's me.
Well, you're a sound for sore ears. Bess called me and told me your vacation is rapidly turning into another mystery. So who do you think the vandal is?
I really don't know. It would help if I could at least imagine a motive. But why would anyone want to vandalize a beautiful old library?
There must be more to it than meets the eye. Sounds like you better find a way to get in there and take a look around.
Apparently, this castle's tower used to be a hangout for Marie Antoinette.
Who's that? Ezra Wickford's wife?
Are you kidding? Marie Antoinette was a famous queen of France.
And she used to hang out in Wisconsin?
No, silly. The tower was originally part of the Chateau Rochemont in France. Ezra Wickford fell in love with the tower and imported it to Wisconsin.
And Marie didn't want to come along.
Well, that would have been pretty tough for her, considering... Ned Nickerson, are you pulling my leg?
What do you mean, Nancy?
You know very well that Marie Antoinette was beheaded in 1793, don't you?
Well, yeah. I guess I read something about that when I studied the French Revolution. But when did Wickford show up?
He didn't discover the tower until the 1920s, over 100 years after Marie's death.
Whew! I think I'm all clear now. Thanks for straightening that out for me, Detective.
You are some pain in the neck, pal.
Good thing I'm so cute.
Are you ready for a crazy coincidence?
Only if it's a crazy one.
Ezra Wickford also imported the library, and it seems that he bought it from the family of Jean Leboeuf, the revolutionary commander who captured Marie Antoinette when she was trying to escape from France.
You're kidding. So Wickford imported Marie's tower and her enemy's library?
Exactly.
Doesn't Leboeuf mean the cow in French?
Actually, I think it just means the beef.
Well, in any case, I bet the guy would be happy to know that his library ended up in the heart of America's Dairyland.
How do you think Ezra Wickford got his hands on Marie Antoinette's red medallion?
Maybe Monsieur Leboeuf took it from Marie when he captured her at Varennes, and then Wickford bought it from Leboeuf's family when he bought the library.
How do you think Professor Hotchkiss ended up with Marie Antoinette's green medallion?
It sounds like Marie gave the medallion to the family of that Baroness Helga in Austria. Maybe Helga gave it to Hotchkiss when they became friends in order to help with her research.
Bye, Ned.
Keep me posted.
I'm so glad you stopped by. I've translated the entire journal. It's fabulous! And as an added bonus, it includes Marie's official decoder, something no one else has ever found before.
What does l'espoir à ceux qui cherchent mean?
Let's see. Well, espoir is hope, and chercher is to search. Hope to those who search.
Can you translate this for me? Le diamant de misère dans mon journal.
Now, where the heck have I seen that phrase before? Well, anyway, it means the diamond of misery in my journal.
Can you tell me what this means in English? La solution se trouve dedans.
Well, trouver is to find, and solution is just like it sounds, solution. The solution is found within.
I saw a letter on your desk from your friend, the Baroness von Hanseldorf, and I'm just wondering, did the medallion she gave you have a blue stone in it by any chance?
Heavens, no! Where did you hear such a thing? My medallion had a green stone in it. Anything else would be a mere imposter, a flaming faker, do you hear me?
What do you think of Lisa Ostrom?
That Leslie, yes, oh, real dynamo, but... I told Chester that I would not require any maid service during my stay. I don't know why she didn't get the message.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
I think I see what the symbols in the stained glass mean now. Let's see. Purple rose, whole diamond, key of queen. But where have I seen a purple rose? And what's a diamond key? Looks like a keyhole of some sorts. Looks like a keyhole of some sorts. The diamond!
Whoa! Will you look at that sparkly rock? And me without my sunglasses.
Hi, Lisa. How did you get in here?
I followed you, of course. Turns out a nosy, goody-two-shoes detective is good to have around after all. Now, why don't you toss me that big honkin' diamond so I can blow this popsicle stand and never set foot in lame-o Wisconsin again?
Lisa, you must be kidding me. This diamond belongs in a museum in France.
Yeah? Well, I belong in the lap of luxury, and that diamond's gonna get me there. Hasn't anybody ever told you to mind your own business?
Oh, many times.
Well, maybe this time you'll learn.
My eyes!
Don't worry. My spicy devil villain venom won't last for long. But I'm afraid by the time you get your eyes back, you'll have missed my grand exit.
Are you the one who conked me on the head in the locker room?
Ouch. I bet that hurt. But I had to get the medallion somehow, didn't I? I hope we can still be friends.
Why did you leave Jacques' medallion at Hotchkiss's room? And Hotchkiss's medallion out in the shed?
To spread suspicion around, of course. You know, to play with your mind. Plus, I was at a dead end. I got the 2 messages from the stained glass window, but then what? I knew you would figure it out, so I decided to put the medallions in your hands and let you lead the way.
Why did you have to vandalize that beautiful library?
Just a little translation mix-up. When I read the message from Hotchkiss's medallion, I thought it meant Diamond of Misery in the library. Whoops, guess I went a little overboard looking for it in there. Anyway, enough with the questions, Nancy. You'll just have to read the rest in the papers.
I've got to stop her.
Ah! Help! Get me out of here! It stinks down here. It's all moldy. Darn you, Nancy Drew. You're the worst friend a diamond thief could ever have.
Dear Dad, to think I almost became friends with a diamond thief. Everyone at Wickford Castle is resting easier now that Marie Antoinette's journal and her famous diamond are safe and sound. The journal, the diamond, and the medallions are all going to be featured in a new Marie Antoinette exhibit in Paris. And it looks like everyone will be rewarded. Except Lisa, of course. First, she missed her plane to Rio, and now she's going to be charged with attempted grand theft. Professor Hotchkiss is thrilled because the French government has granted her permission to publish Marie's journal in the U.S. before it gets returned to France. This ought to help prove her theory about Marie's character once and for all. Thanks to Jacques and his great-grandfather's efforts to find the journal, the Brunet name is being celebrated all over France. In the meantime, Jacques and Isabel have eloped. It's so romantic. I showed Dexter the poem that Ezra Wickford wrote him, and he was relieved to know that his old pop didn't carry any hard feelings to his grave. All the talk shows want Dexter to tell his story on national television, but he keeps turning them down. I guess he doesn't want to be famous or infamous. But when Christy Lane called and asked Dexter to be her business partner, he accepted. With her business sense and Dexter's expert knowledge of the castle, I think they'll make a great team. So, you know what they say, Dad? Il n'est jamais trop tard de changer l'histoire. It's never too late to change history. Me, I'm determined to go out and